It's time once again for Uncle Matt's bedtime story. Hello everybody, it's Uncle Matt, and I'm here to read you another bedtime story. And I'm excited to read this book. It is called Marveltown by Bruce McCall. And this story was copyright in 2008. Now, why am I excited about this story? Well, we're going to find out soon, but it takes place maybe in the future, or in your imagination at least, about future cities and creating roads and buildings and that kind of thing, planning. And you might be familiar with some video games that you build cities in, or you build railroads or theme park kind of rides. Well, I was always interested in that. In fact, I have some other books here too. Here's an old one, The Story of Traffic Control by Ross R. Olney. And it was really interesting. It was about engineering and books and stories and signs. Here's some old signs. This book was copyrighted. It's an old one. It's when I was a kid. 1968. Yeah, it smells old. Some other books here about travel, about roads. But we're going to get into this story here, Marveltown, and I hope you enjoy it just as much as I do. Are you ready? Here we go. Sky sailing. Oh, let's start that again. Sky skiing. The very idea would buckle the knees of most people. Not us Marveltown kids. In fact, we invented sky skiing. We were born to brainstorm. In a city created by inventors, we saw man-made wonders wherever we looked. Some really made our heads spin. From rocket jumping by moonlight to fishing from a mile-high tower, Marveltown kids thought fun without a challenge was no fun at all. Who couldn't spare 5 minutes for a car wash? Marveltowners couldn't. That's how we kids learned that faster was always better, and bigger was always better too. Take Flipover Farm, a huge disc of farmland that turned over every December to reveal a winter playground. Come spring, it turned over again, and the farmland was back. The incredible new skyway was held up by invisible ion rays. No one had tried such a project before, so at first, construction was slow and costly. Couldn't all those big Marveltown brains find a better way? Oh, the sign here says zoo hours. Always open. From its floating freeway to its mechanical animal zoo, Marveltown inspired us kids to daydream about the great things we'd invent someday, and we'd jump at any chance to try making our daydreams come true. Every Saturday, the grown-ups threw open the doors to the Invent-O-Drome and gave Marveltown kids free rein. We'd scour the storage center for supplies. It was an inventor's paradise. The rocket chair was my idea. I'd always been late for school. Now I could shoot from backyard to schoolyard in 6 seconds flat. That's Babette launching her invention, the world's largest flying model, big as a barn but light as a feather. The strange thing in the distance is the human machine gun, my pal Kurt's idea. It could fire 60 kids a minute into the air, at least in theory. Kurt never did find 60 volunteers. What could the teacher do? The dog ate my homework was true. Felix, the inventor of the homework grinder, charged a nickel a chew. Willard's mom was so dazed by his hypno goggles he could get away with anything. Floyd's reversible arrow whale could change direction in midair. Fenwick invented the radio-controlled ripple rug, especially for tripping up school bullies. Eli's bedroom hologram was diabolical. Dad saw spick and span perfection where the reality was a place that you wouldn't want to live in. When Marveltown kids were inventing away, so were our parents, and soon they cracked their skyway problem. The airborne road could be speedily built using giant electro-hydraulic robots. The first robots were frankly duds, stumbling and fumbling, knocking things down, just making shambles of whatever they touched. But the fixes came quickly, and eventually the adults came up with the robots for every chore. Lifting, welding, paving, and even going for coffee. The Skyway project was rolling at last. Until one quiet midnight, when deep inside Robot Central Command, a curious mouse chewed through a cable. Zap! The whole system short-circuited, and in the chaos that followed, the same mangled message went out to every robot. Your rocks job, FJ Crush 59 Marveltown. Dawn's first light revealed an army of colossal mechanical morons marching toward Marveltown. As the menacing monsters approached, Marveltowners panicked. Run for your lives! We're all doomed! Not so fast, folks. The grown-ups might flee, but the kids were already in action. Felix's homework grinder made a perfect guard dog. My rocket chair bowled over more than one mighty electro-hydraulic dunce. Willard beamed those hypno goggles out of his... Willard beamed those hypno goggles of his at the robots and sent them reeling. Fenwick's ripple rug became a booby trap for every slow-footed Goliath. The kids of Marveltown taught those tin-suited knuckleheads a lesson. Everywhere, super sly kid power was clobbering brute robot power. The grown-ups slowly crawled out from their hideaways. What they saw was that we kids, the kids of Marveltown, had earned a place in history. The attack doomed the Skyway. Nobody trusted robots anymore, and no robots meant no Skyway. But we kids had proven ourselves, and as inventors, we were just getting started. Who knew what big brainstorms were next? It was still Marveltown after all, and always would be. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. There was a lot of imagination work going on there, a lot of dreaming, and some futuristic stuff too. So that's all the time we have for Uncle Matt's bedtime story. I hope you enjoyed that story, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.